This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I am Nashay Taylor. The 2021 Fargo Air Show is underway. Luckily, most of the wildfire smoke in the area has temporarily cleared up, but the heat not so much. Valley News team's JC Dodd went to the air show to see how people are dealing with the scorching sun.
Thousands flocked to North Fargo today and kept their eyes on the sky to watch the Fargo Air Show. Gates opened at 9:30 this morning, an hour and a half before dozens of planes and jets hit the sky for the crowd-pleaser tricks. Those who got there as the gates opened and stayed until the Blue Angels finale had to battle the heat throughout the day. You can bring your own water, and the air show provides free water refills, but most had to wait in a long line before they could get a fresh drink.
Trying to stay cool by filling water. Long line, as you can tell.
Dr. Dave Hochhalter says a handful of people fell victim to the heat, 5 of them having to seek help at the med tent.
Just people that have been overheated and passing out.
He says they were all over 60 years old and family had to take them home to escape the heat. And luckily, no one had to go to the hospital.
If they're really bad, we'll call an ambulance and get them down to an emergency department.
However, Gary Olson, a volunteer, says the weather was just right.
It's low humidity and the breeze is fantastic. So with the tents, it's working out quite well.
For those planning to attend the air show tomorrow, Dr. Hochhalter has some advice to help prevent heat-related illnesses.
Just come prepared, have an umbrella, sunscreen. It'd be a good idea to have some water and have some money if you need to purchase water.
In North Fargo, JC Dodd, Valley News Live.
Gates open again at 9:30 tomorrow morning and the air show will begin at 11. Meanwhile, last night a driver struck a light post and an electrical box after a crash on 52nd Avenue South. Authorities say just before 11:45 last night, a 35-year-old man traveling with a 20-year-old passenger was heading east on 52nd near Timber Parkway when he lost control. He then ran off the road and up on a curb before striking a light post and an electrical box, causing serious damage. Both the driver and the passenger were taken to an area hospital to be treated for minor injuries. President Biden spoke at a rally for Virginia governor candidate Terry McAuliffe on Friday evening for his first campaign appearance this year. The president spoke on many topics, including tax cuts, veteran care, and drug prices, but he also touched on how he plans to create jobs in America. The president stated during the rally the outlook of his plan estimates there will be 2 million more jobs than the 16 million originally predicted in 10 years.
We create good paying jobs, A significant amount of these jobs will pay the prevailing wage of 30, 40, 50 bucks an hour. 90% of the jobs in our infrastructure plan go to people without a college degree. Folks, we're proposing a blue-collar blueprint to rebuild America.
President Biden also praised the Virginia governor for attracting businesses to the state as 200,000 jobs were created and unemployment declined by 50%. And former President Donald Trump delivered remarks at the Protect Our Elections rally in Phoenix, Arizona today. It comes as Maricopa County's 2.1 million ballots are being audited, although there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud.
This election has caused, and when you see what's happening with inflation, when you see the real numbers of inflation and what's going on, and when you go to the pump today and you see $3.75, we were at $1.87 for a gallon of gasoline. It was the most corrupt, dishonest, and unfair election in the history of our country.
Meanwhile, the recount will have no impact on President Biden's victory in the state. And an average of more than 49,000 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed over the past week, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. Health experts say the Delta variant and a lack of vaccinations are factors most to blame for the rise in infections.
The U.S. is facing another COVID-19 surge this summer.
So many people are going to get infected with this fake narrative out there that if you're young and healthy and take care of yourself, you're not going to get sick. It's simply not true.
Every state has a 7-day average of new cases that tied or rose above the previous week, according to data from Johns Hopkins University.
The new cases in COVID because of unvaccinated folks. Almost 100% of the new hospitalizations are with unvaccinated folks.
Some are heeding the warning.
Most of my family has been vaccinated, and they've been pushing me, and I've been putting it off, but the Delta variant kind of scares me.
But others still say they won't roll up their sleeves.
I'm a healthy person. I don't have any underlying health issues, so I'm not really concerned about it.
As cases keep climbing, schools are preparing for the start of a new year. Earlier this week, the Atlanta Public Schools District announced a mask requirement for all students and staff.
We continue to aggressively and intentionally educate our families and our employees around the importance of vaccination, putting the data in front of them as well, and also highlighting our own mitigation strategies.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
30 states have yet to get half of their residents fully vaccinated, according to the CDC. And a Florida court has reversed its decision, which allowed the government to implement COVID-19 protocols for the cruise industry. The CDC requires cruise lines to meet certain conditions before they can set sail, including ventilation, social distancing, and testing. Florida initially won when the state went to court to block the CDC protocols, but then a federal appeals court sided with the CDC, leaving the rules in place. Now an appeals court has ruled the CDC failed to prove its jurisdiction in the matter. The court requested the CDC file an appeal to support the agency's argument by September 1st. Later on Valley News Live at 10. Olympics COVID cases have increased. Another athlete tested positive for COVID-19 since the last tally on Friday. But up next, more heat is on the way, but summer shares more on a cool down coming up.